My side of the story. My side of the story.
Now, is this a generation that stopped dreaming, or it is just that nowadays it's harder to chase your dreams? As much as they say the world is not on a budget, you should ask God for more. You should ask the universe for more because it's not on a budget. Look at what is happening currently and what is going on in our society. I don't know about you, but I would like to tackle some of these things today. This is my side of the story, and I'm your host, Cookie the baddest, Cookie the illest, Cookie the lyrical mistress. Yes, and today we're going to talk about just that. Is this a generation that stopped dreaming, or it's just harder to chase your dreams today? Given that we have almost each and every single resources available compared to how our parents lived, compared to how the other generations lived. Yeah.
All right. So, what did you dream of becoming when you were growing?
Oh my God, I wanted to become a neurosurgeon. Anybody who asked me, I wanted to become somebody in the medical field. I wanted to make sure people are good. And then life ikabadilika. I don't know if it's me or it's the education system. And I feel like, honestly, as when I see it better. You know, when I was in high school, I didn't see it. But now I see it better. I feel like we were taken to school to just study. You're not studying to be smarter or learn skills. And I guess that's why they have introduced things like CBC. But during our time when we were doing 844, you're just studying so that you can pass your exams. You're studying blindly. So even when you get out here, life is not about books. Life is not about what you are going to experience out here. It's like we are generating robots for the corporate world, and I'm sorry to say, but I feel like that's what we are doing. And maybe that is why even the Gen Zs are not surviving in this corporate world, because they want to do things how they feel, not because of how you're telling them, because they are reading from a script. But we are not reading from a script. We are reading from what feels easy, what feels smarter, and what feels like it's solution-based, you know? Yeah.
This one is very personal. Do you still believe that dream is possible today?
Yes, dreaming is very possible today.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you still believe that dream, that specific
Or the dream of being a neurosurgeon. Hey, my friend, I gave up kitambo sana. But whatever I have achieved with my life right now, I couldn't be more prouder, you see. And maybe I will transfer that dream to my child. You know, you're not supposed to choose for your kid what you're supposed to do. Lakini mimi lazima akuwe daktari. Wacha nikwambie, as a mom, I have to make sure, jamani, kuna mmoja ni lawyer hapo ama ni daktari. Yes.
So, at what point did reality start feeling different from expectations?
At what point did reality start? Unajua reality inazanga kufeel different from expectations when you get out of school and you come out here and experience life one-on-one. You understand? Personally, me, the moment I finished high school and then I got employed, I knew I was going to finish high school, get employed, save money, pay for my education, get married by 25, blah, 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 blah. A lot of nonsense, let me tell you. The world has other plans for you, but that does not hinder you from. Unajua, every young dreamer will always have obstacles. For every young dreamer out there who is trying to achieve something, you're trying to work on something, you know, you will always have those obstacles. Na mimi reality linihit ile siku nilienda kuchukua ID. My friend, nilitembea kutoka Kawangware. I walked from Kawangware to Westlands to get my ID so that I can go back to work, so that they can see my ID, because walikuwa wameni-employ nikiwa underage, you know. And while I was working as an underage, they felt a bit insecure about it because of labor laws. And they told me to go and get my ID. So the moment I got my ID, I got fired. Let me tell you. That's when reality hit me, because now I'm looking for work. Nikaanza kuuza njugu, nikauza skuma, nikauza everything. And I'm like, why am I not making the money that I was supposed to make? You know? But what they don't tell you is that life pia lazima uipeleke pole pole. If you're living life on a fast lane, if you don't slow down, you'll crash. Understand? Yeah.
Do you feel like you are surviving or actually living?
At that time.
This time.
it's a very fine line between surviving and living. There are days you wake up, you feel like you're fighting for your life. And there are days you wake up and you feel like you're good. So each and every single day is a battle. You just get to choose your battle. You know, there's also somebody who said, based on research, you need to choose your hard. Each and every single day when you wake up, you need to choose the hard that you want to deal with, because life is never a straight line and life is not a smooth line. But at the end of the day, you're the one who is able to decide what you want with your life. Do you want something that's going to be at least, you're creating a cushion for yourself. You're creating a cushion for your life. So at this point, I guess every young person can attest to this. We are all just trying to make it to the next day as much as we are chasing our dreams. Because right now, even we are trying to like push our lives, make sure our dreams are good, and then now we have another world war.
So, how much of your income goes to just basic survival?
How much of my income goes to basic survival?
You can quote in percentage.
Actually, I wanted to quote it in percentage. I can say half of it. Half of it goes into my basic needs. Rent, kutengeneza nywele, making my hair, paying bills, doing my face, each and every single thing. At least half of it goes into that.
Okay. Have you ever had to give up on a dream because of money?
Have I ever had to give up on a dream because of money? Not yet. I've not experienced that yet. But I guess I had to work a bit harder because things did not go as expected. And I guess this is every young person, Sometimes things don't go as you planned. Things don't go as you expected. And it is one of the most heartbreaking things, because there is that potential that you felt like you had, but you have to choose this other path before you come back to this. We have all been there. We have all been in that situation where you feel like, okay, I have this dream that I want to achieve and it's not going as planned. So I have to do this in order to come back to this. And it's perfectly okay. Okay? For every young person out there who has had a parent who is struggling to put them to school, a parent who is actually just a single mom or a single dad and is raising you, life is not as you plan. If you're not among the top 1%, let me tell you, lazima utafute. Shamba la mawe, lazima utafute.
So, do you feel financially independent or just managing?
Personally, I'm getting to independence. 1963, independence. We are headed there.
Where am I?
But let me ask you, and you guys, I want you to actually tell me. Financial independence is based on how you use money. Let's just be honest. How you utilize your finances on a daily basis is what determines financial independence. But other factors are also inclusive. Remember the fact that you're working on a job that's just paying you basic salary, so you're able to sort out your rent, your bills, and your transportation. That's a very different case. But from all that, if you're not a mom, you're not a dad, you're just yourself. Okay, and you're trying to chase your dreams and you cannot even save your basic salary, even if it's just 10%, yamani, that means you're not going to achieve any independence anytime soon. And that is where generational wealth comes in, because you're no longer from a poor background, you are the background. We're going to talk about that in the next topic, by the way.
What's one thing you wish you could afford right now?
One thing I wish I could afford right now, let me tell you, Naima Furiko, I want a car. I want a car. Honestly, that's one thing I want. As a young person, as a young Gen Z, I really want to see myself drive. And I want to drive, not because of any other reason. And you can agree with me, guys. Sometimes unaingia matatu na si kwa ubaya. Kuna watu hygiene yao ni mbaya sana. I mean, like basic cleanliness, basic hygiene, taking care of yourself, your body. Mtu akinyeshewa anaingia hapo ananuka all types of smell. I'm ranting, yes, but it's also the truth. I mean, kila mtu amefunzwa kukua msafi. I mean, ukiingia kwa matatu, sometimes you might get mad. Unakasirika for no reason. And you're tired. You're like, now this is why people need cars. Like, this is a basic need as well. It has become a basic need because you need to move around, Experiencing privacy. Uko pale kwa matatu, you're reading your text. Huyu neighbor wako anaangalia nini unasoma. Paka unashangaa unataka kumuuliza, utasoma? Will you read my text? Because now you're invading my privacy. Yeah.
When you go online, do you feel inspired or pressured?
When I go online, a lot of pressure. Let's be honest with each other. The only time you feel inspired is when you wake up in the morning, you're you with your thoughts and your journal, and you're writing your dreams down, what you've achieved, what you've not achieved. The moment you get online, there's too much going on. The moment you get online, there's a lot of pressure. Pressure to make it, pressure to achieve something, pressure to buy something. You know, we are living in times where it is consumerism. We are living in the consumer world times. How am I even putting that? But you guys get it, eh? Tuko ile time yenye consumerism is taking over. So every single time you look this side, you need this. You look this side, unahitaji hii. Sometimes you don't even need it, but you're just buying it. You know, a lot of pressure for nothing. And that's why all the time, even those people who actually practice meditation, they tell you, first of all, switch off your device so that you can be able to switch off your brain. You don't think too much. Like, we are overloaded with a lot of information currently, and there's pressure also from that, because you feel like you even forget what you were supposed to do because of the information you're getting here. There's no inspiration when you get here. It's just pressure.
Do you think people are honest about their lives on social media?
No. And I said that before, by the way. People are performing. A lot of people are performing. A lot of people are not living the lives that they actually live. Kwa reality, kwa ground vitu ni different. Reality is very different. And you know, how you choose to live your life is up to you. Nobody has come to tell you, like, don't do that online so that, you know, hapana. Well, live how you want. Live how you want. So, we are all performing for people who don't care, especially on social media. Yeah.
Have you ever compared your life to someone online and felt behind?
Every 20-year-old has. In your 20s, unaona, there's a 23-year-old amenunua GLE. Unashanga huyu mtu ametoa pesa. Na mimi ni nini nafanya enye sinunui? Even you go back to the drawing board and you look at your financials, you even do a report, an annual report of your finances, and you're like, kwani mimi nafanya nini na maisha yangu? That is comparison, but you know, comparison is a thief of joy. Okay? So each and every single day, you are only human, and you are allowed to feel like that. But remember, you guys are living two different lives. You have a different dream, they have a different dream. Kila mtu hapa hivi ameandikiwa maisha yake jamani. Everybody will achieve what they have to achieve at their own time.
What do you think success looks like online versus real life?
What success looks like online versus real life? Success online looks like a magazine. You see, the magazine is very organized, aesthetics. I feel like success has been put in a box where people are aesthetically living, aesthetically pleasing lives. But let me tell you, the reality of young people who are living out here right now, kuna watu hata hawezi afford gas. There are people who cannot even afford 2 meals in a day, but they're hustling, they're putting their best foot forward. But online, a lot of people are putting aesthetics, and that's showing us that is how they live. But you see, life cannot be picture perfect, especially when you are young. You know, especially in your 20s. You have never been 25. It is your first time being 25. So you are experiencing life as a 25-year-old. So trying to put aesthetics out there, by the way, it's beautiful. For branding, for branding purposes, go ahead and do it. But don't do it because you want to show people that's how your life is. That is why people get judged when they come back and ask for contributions. Have you ever realized that? That's why people get judged. Huyu wanashindanga ametuonyesha the way they are flaunting cash, wanaosha mkono na pombe, blah, blah, blah. And then you come back and ask for contributions. For business purposes and all that, go ahead and do it. Like for your own life, please, make sure you yourself, you are living authentically by yourself. Kama unaishi kwa hako ka bed sitter, ishi kwa hiyo bed sitter. Kama unaishi kwa 1 bedroom and you can afford it, live in that 1 bedroom. Usiende kurentisha sijui 2 bedroom Kilimani 70K, and at the end of the month, that is the only money you can afford. You see, it doesn't make sense, especially for a young person. It doesn't make any financial sense. You see, yeah.
Do you feel pressure to succeed before a certain age?
Yes, always. Always. Every young person feels the pressure to succeed before a certain age. Young women are feeling the pressure to get married because in some instances in the society right now, tumeambiwa marriage is also an achievement. I don't know how true that is. I've never been married, guys. You will educate me on that, please. But there's that pressure to just show people that you have done this before a certain age. But remember, you have a whole life ahead of you. You know? Succeeding by 30, then what will you be doing after 30? Because life still goes on either way, you see. So success is always an ongoing process. And I said this before, success will always be an ongoing process. It's not a destination, it's a journey. Yeah.
How often do you feel overwhelmed about your future?
Every single day. Guys, by the way, let me tell you, when it comes to being overwhelmed, for young people who are chasing their dreams out there, every single day you wake up and you feel like, I've not done this, I've not done this. You see those basic stuff that you've not done, and then you think about the life you're supposed to live. You think about where you're supposed to be in life. This is a culmination of pressure and feeling like you're overwhelmed, okay? But taking life one day at a time is the solution. That is one thing I realized. If today is not working, tomorrow will work, okay? And there will always be another day to make it in life, okay? Just another day in paradise, yeah.
Do you talk to anyone about these struggles?
Well, everyone has a shrink, and I always suggest, especially young people, because you should never have pressure in life to the verge that you want to off yourself. Always have a shrink, and a shrink is somebody you can talk to, somebody who can actually keep your secrets, somebody who can actually understand you. Always have somebody to talk to. Unajua, we have grown up with this mentality of me, I don't have people. That is not bragging. As a matter of fact, you're living a very lonely life. You know, you can be alone, but you cannot be lonely. So always have a shrink to talk to. Always have somebody you can talk to. Me, my biggest shrink, I have 2 shrinks, and I talk to them all the time. It's, talking is the best outlet. Kuongea, by the way, unaweza kuwa uko na issue na kusumbua, lakini the moment you say it, you even feel free. You know? Yeah.
What is the hardest part about being a young person in Nairobi today?
The hardest part about being a young person in Nairobi today, kuna mtu alikuwa anasema, there's this joke that was made the other day on the internet, like, groceries are high, the rent is high, why can't I also just get high? But the hardest part about being a young person in Nairobi today is bills. You wake up in the morning, bills. Mwezi jaisha, unakumbuka uko na rent ya next month. You want to do something, I have to pay. Me, I'm telling you, that is the hardest part about being a young person in Nairobi. Paying bills. No, the way rent in Nairobi is expensive. The rent in Nairobi is so expensive. That is one thing that gives people a lot of pressure. Bills. Let me tell you, God will deliver us very soon. Hata sisi tutakuwa successful.
Do you think there are enough opportunities for youth in Kenya?
Enough opportunities for the youth in Kenya? No. The reality is right now, every young person is trying to find an opportunity to make it, but the resources, our leaders are not doing enough. Let's be honest. They're not doing enough to also provide those resources. It's unajua nani? Wewe unajua nani mwenye atakusaidia? Wewe unajua nani mwenye atakutafutia hii job? What about those people who don't have those opportunities? And that is one of my biggest dreams, to create a platform, not even just a platform, to create a work environment where every young person can find employment. If there's something I'm working towards, it's that. Because I know how hard it is to make it in this Nairobi. I know how hard it is to be a Kenyan youth. And it's very, very important that we strive to create opportunities for each other. Okay? And that's why a lot of people are traveling outside to find opportunities. You're not leaving this country because you have a choice. You don't. Your parents are depending on you. You are depending on yourself. Maybe you're a dad, you're a mom. Have you noticed the way a lot of young people who go to become housemaids in Lebanon, house managers in Lebanon, are really being mistreated? These guys are going through the most. Some of them even want to come back to Kenya. But they cannot because of the pressure, because of the opportunities that are less in this country. Unakuja kufanya nini nyumbani? You see? Yeah.
Have you ever considered leaving the country for a better life?
Every single day, especially when I'm dealing with a client who does not understand. Young people, especially those who are in the digital space, you're dealing with clients who don't understand that you need your money on time, or the job you've done, especially in the creative industry. We are always pressured to deliver on time, but you're never paid on time. True or false? Very true. You're pressured to deliver on time, but the pressure to pay on time is not the same. And these people don't understand that you also have needs. The fact that you don't have kids or you don't have a family does not mean you don't have financial obligations. You do. And every single time I think about that, I just want to leave this country. I want to apply for a visa and leave and see if something else will find me out there that's better than what we are experiencing here. And a lot of people in the diaspora are saying in Kenya we are living a better life than out there, because out there you're working almost 24 hours. But it gets to a point where you being busy and working is better than being in this country and not being paid but you're working. You see, it's very frustrating. And I know I'm speaking for a million other people who are in the creative sector or in the creative industry or in the digital industry. You create something for a client, they take forever to pay you, but you had delivered it on time. Yeah.
What do you think needs to change for young people to succeed?
What needs to change for young people to succeed? So many things, honestly, Chris. Sometimes even us, sisi wenyewe young people, we are the problem. Our mentality, the way we reason, okay? We are the problem. Answer na wewe, what's my main issue? Why am I thinking like this? Why am I putting myself in a situation that is not making me become a better person? So, first of all, ni wewe. Don't depend on anyone. Don't blame anyone. First of all, look within. Okay? Once the enemy within is defeated, the enemy without cannot conquer you. You understand? Yeah.
Do you think Gen Z is asking for too much or just basic fairness?
Gen Z are not asking for too much. They're not. And by then, nimepata this conversation where they're saying Gen Zs, they're so entitled. Gen Zs, they're doing this. I don't think that's the case here. Honestly, it's not. It's not. Gen Zs are not asking for too much. They're just asking for to be considered. Okay? They're not asking for too much.
Is hard work still enough to succeed today?
No. You need to be smart, especially in this society that we are in. You need to be very witty and use the technical skills that you have, the mental skills that you have to achieve what you need. Okay? Yeah.
Who do you think is responsible for the struggles young people face?
Who is responsible? The society we are living in. Okay? Imagine umejipata Somali. Umezaliwa Somali. Are you going to blame anybody else but the environment that you're in? Okay? It's the environment we are brought up in. If we have leaders who don't care about future generations, they only care about their stomachs and their pockets, then we are going to be in a in the next few years, we are going to be in a very bad situation. It's the environment. The environment is the problem. And it starts with the leaders. Yeah.
Sema shida ni Ruto.
Mimi sijasema hivyo jamani. Hapana, msiseme nilisema hivyo.
Do you feel like the system is working for you or against you?
The system will always work for you to fail. I feel like the system will always work against you. Unaona vile young people wanasemanga, pesa si shida, shida ni DCI. We have systems to make money, but you have to prove where you got that money. And I'm not saying that because now people have to commit illegal stuff. No, it's not. So most of the times, the system is always working against you. Why should I work in your favor so that you can succeed? You know, even as human beings, we are very selfish. I'm not going to... Imagine if everyone in this country was successful. Will we really have a country? Exactly. So the system has to work in the favor of someone and against the favor of someone else in order to have a balance of the ecosystem. Yeah. So the system most of the times is working against you. It is. Yeah.
All right. What does your dream life look like right now?
Personally, as a young person?
No. Where you are seated right now, what does your dream life look like?
I think the dream life of every young person is stability. Stability is a very good security for almost each and every single young person in this country. The moment you're stable, you don't have to worry about a lot of things. The moment your parents are stable, you don't have to worry about anything. It's the most important. Yeah.
If money wasn't a problem, what would you be doing?
If money was not I would be traveling. Aye! Yeah, imagine all this beautiful, the way the world is so beautiful. And then mimi niko kwa ofisi naangalia Excel sheet. Somebody created an Excel sheet and the world is so beautiful. I wouldn't be behind a desk, I promise you. I would be traveling the world each and every single day. Yeah. A young person is allowed to dream. We're talking about dreaming. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Okay, that now gives us our next question. Do you still allow yourself to dream?
Yes, I do allow myself to dream. And by the way, in order to dream, you have to be very delusional. You are hapa, lazima ukwe very delusional. Lazima watu wakuone huyu msichana ni fala, by the way. Are you serious? You're talking about such things in this economy, in this current situation we are in as a global society? Yes, being a dreamer is very, very important. You cannot be a basic thinker. You have to dream. You have to look, you have to see further as a person. Yeah.
Last question. What message would you give to someone like me who feels like giving up?
Someone like you, I feel like this is you asking this question. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's just a bad day. It's not a bad life. It's not a bad life. Give yourself a chance. If you're giving up on yourself, that means you are a quitter. And a quitter is a loser. You should not allow yourself to be a loser. Because the moment you quit, that means you lose. You snooze, you lose. Okay? So don't quit and don't give up on yourself. That's like that thing that you're always chasing should give you the strength to wake up in the morning. No matter what somebody says, no matter the situation you're in, no matter what somebody is trying to tell you at the back of your ear. And by the way, to be successful, lazima pia ukue kichwa ngumu. That's one thing I noticed. Lazima ukue kichwa ngumu. There's this type of belief you need to have in yourself. Sometimes inakanga ni kama ni maringo or it's ego, but it's very, very necessary. Not that you don't listen to people, but you believe yourself to a point where you yourself, you know, I believe in myself, so you cannot tell me anything. Yeah. So guys, let me tell you something. As a Gen Z, I feel like we are in a very good space to make the best out of our lives. Despite the systems, despite the problems, despite the tribulations, despite the society right now, the world right now is in shambles. That should not hinder us, you know. As Martin Luther said, I have a dream. Yes, and you're allowed to be a dreamer. So, as much as we have hindrances, systems in the society that don't allow us to dream, give yourself a chance to dream each and every single day. And remember, in order to be successful, you have to be delusional. You have to lose it a bit up here, okay? Because success never comes easy. And success is very addictive and it's very poisonous as well. Oh, no, it's not, is it? I don't know. I'm quoting BN. Success is poisonous. Na, 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 na. Anyway, this has been my side of the story. Kama kawaida. Cookie the baddest, Cookie the illest, Cookie the lyrical mistress. I'm having the conversation you guys are having on the comment section. I really appreciate that, by the way. Yeah, we are here to learn from each other. Whatever I say is not cast in stone. Whatever I say is not the actual fact. I'm just here to reason with you guys. So in case you have any questions, inquiries, or even opinions, please share them on the comment section. Kama kawaida, make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you're new here. I'm your host, Cookie the baddest, Cookie the illest, Cookie the lyrical mistress. And this is your Gen Z dreamer. Bye.
Nice one.
Imeenda for how long?